That's right. They stop, you stop. They keep on, you keep on. So they feed it, you feed it. Uh-huh. They feed it, you feed it. They starve it, you starve it. Okay, let me call you back. All right. Like probably 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Okay. Now don't call them on the other one, so just call me back on this one. I'll call you back. All right. So we're going downhill, guys. Hey, know how to walk downhill the correct way. Just like you need to know how to walk uphill the correct way. Going down the correct way, go back up the correct way. There are methods to everything, even walking. Okay? Not just the walking and talking, because it sounds so cute to everybody. But the most important component, the walking. The walking. As long as you're moving those feet, those legs, that waist, those arms. And as always, we do not professionally, medically, or clinically assess, diagnose, treat, evaluate, or prescribe. We just drop nuggets over here about the things that we do that we feel like help us and those that we know. And when I have someone in the chat, they do the same thing. But we're not doing any of that assessing, diagnosing, right? Treating, evaluating, or subscribing. All right? Always, always, no matter who you talk to, who you listen to, always consult, contact, converse with, have communication with your primary healthcare provider and their team, which is your team, right? The provider, their nurses, their assistants, their physician's assistants, their certified registered nurse practitioners, okay? They're registered nurses, they're licensed nurses, those who have been medically trained and educated through book and clinical work to be telling people what to do and how to do it. Always talk to those people. Your physical therapist, your occupational therapist, your specialty doctors, okay? And you may have some of them on the platform, but if they're not your personal one, then you just take those nuggets from the people that you hear, from those of us who are licensed, certified, and registered, okay? Take the nuggets and you run research them. Don't just run with them, you run and research them. And you communicate with your healthcare team. There's so much you can do. Walking, jogging, running, skipping, hopping, dancing, walking in place, all right? Your mini stepper, your walkie pad, right? Your treadmill, your elliptical, okay? Walk around the perimeter of your home, your apartment complex. I just told you guys 15 things you can do. I counted them. You can play tennis, you can go swimming, play a little flag football, touch football, basketball. Grab the kids and play kickball. So much you can do besides just walking and talking, because it sounds cute, apparently. As long as those legs are moving, that waist has a swivel in it. Keep your head on a swivel, especially when you're outside. You do that everywhere, whether you're inside or outside. Keep your head on a swivel. Be aware of your surroundings. Okay? Move those arms, those shoulders, and you keep moving. Keep moving. Keep going. Keep cruising. Keep moving and grooving, cruising and moving. Keep striving. Keep reaching. Keep walking. Keep doing whatever activity it is that you're doing. Keep doing it consistently and be persistent about being consistent. Be consistent, and you want to make sure that you're persistent about being consistent. It's okay to take days off, right? It's okay to take some days off. Thank you for those hearts. I appreciate you. It's okay to take some days off, all right? But have it pre-planned if you can. I know sometimes things come up and we can't pre-plan. You may have a day where the football game goes a little over and you got to be there early that day or whatever. Practice goes over a little bit with the kids, and so you don't get your walk in. But listen, when you realize that practice is going to go over, get out and walk in circles. Walk around the building, walk around the track, walk around whatever area is accessible, okay? Even if it's just for 15 minutes. I encourage each and every person to walk an hour, or whatever cardiovascular aerobic activity that you do, I encourage it to be done for an hour. But that's only what I can encourage. You know your fitness level, you know how you feel, you know your health status. So maybe 30 minutes is good for you. Maybe 45 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, maybe even 10. If you strive for 15, you should at least get 10 done, okay? At least 10. Always make sure you take that time to get that mind right, all right? Just sit, meditate for about 10 to 15 minutes. This is in addition to your workout, okay? Just take some deep breaths in and out. In and out. We do a lot of lives focusing on just sheer meditation, stretching, exercising late in the night, right? So you can do it at any point. Even if you're at work on your lunch break, one of your 15-minute lunch breaks. Eat a snack on one of them. Eat your lunch during your 30-minute break. And on your life, most people get two 15-minute breaks on a 30-minute break. Or they get an hour, right? So if you get two 15s and a 30, on your last 15 or your first 15, just sit down, try your best to unwind as much as you can, about a minute or two to just kind of try to relax, release, okay? And then take deep breaths in and out, 3 to 5, or however many you like, in and out. Inhale, deep belly breathe. Belly breathe. Deep. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. Roll those shoulders forward. Same thing when we talk about getting up in the morning. Roll those shoulders forward. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Roll those shoulders backwards. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. It's just a simple roll. Pull them back, pull them up to your ears, and pull them forward and down. Pull them back, pull them up to your ears, pull them backwards and down. Simple shoulder roll. Simple shoulder roll. We've got action. That's what we say when we've got traffic, right? So we just keep going, but we keep going in place. We keep going in place. All right? We just keep moving. We stop, but we keep moving in place. Still getting that burn. Still getting that burn. Depending on your pace, you're really working. You're really working. Depending on your pace, you are really working. And remember, you want to work your body, but make sure you don't hurt your body. Work your body, don't overexert your body. There are so many people trying to show what they can do, keep up with people they can't compare with, until they don't really pay attention to how they sound. Okay? Pay attention to how you sound when you're exercising, whether it's cardiovascular or whether it's weight training, resistance training. Pay attention to how you sound. Pay attention to how you feel. Okay? Listen to how your body feels. Listen to how your body feels. Also, listen to the sounds that your body makes, okay? If you feel like you're hearing some crackles, popping, slow down. You can still keep moving and do a few stretches, okay? Slow down and do a few stretches. All right? One step at a time, one foot in front of the other, one step at a time, but keep moving. If you need to stop, please do so. Slow down and or stop. It's okay to do that and just start over the next day. So we had some music. Sometimes we got music, okay? Just like we have action, sometimes we got music. We got about 20 more minutes. About 20 more minutes. Wherever you are today on this thoughtful Thursday, thoughtful and thirsty Thursday, I hope that you're having a great Thursday, a terrific Thursday, a thoughtful Thursday, a thirsty Thursday. Thirsty over here in Lions Pride means thirst for knowledge, thirst for education, thirst for new things that are good for you, a thirst to achieve the things that you've probably set out to achieve and you quite haven't yet. You put them on the back burner. A thirst to continue to do the things that you are doing. Okay? The improvements that you are making, the goals that you are reaching, you're right on time to reach. Have a thirst to continue to make it, to reach those goals. Hey, Big O, they hit your comment. How you doing? See, if I hadn't clicked on it, I wouldn't even known that was you. Thank you, I appreciate you. How you doing? So it's okay to be a thirsty Thursday, right? Thirsty doesn't, what do I tell you guys? Some negative words are just negative because of the way people use them, right? When you think of the true meaning of thirst, what does that mean? You're thirsty for a drink, for something that's good for you. You know, you might be thirsty for something that's not too good for you, but we're going to talk about the positive meaning, all right? The true meaning, thirst. It needs to be quenched. You need some water, okay? So that's a good thing. Thirst is one of the first signs of what? Dehydration. Hey, Big O. Thirst is one of the first signs of dehydration. We talk about that all the time. And it doesn't matter what time of the year it is. You should always remember those signs of dehydration, right? Now, when I put out nuggets, I drop nuggets. I don't just drop nuggets to you guys. I drop nuggets that are like applied to the general population. But I also have to let you know that everything that sounds like normal or that most people could do, there are times when everybody can't do them, okay? Just like drinking water. You have people on here all the time. Drink water, stay hydrated. Well, of course, I'm going to encourage you to do that. But if you have fluid restrictions, okay, then the amount of water or the amount of anything that you drink may be restricted. So don't listen to people when they just say drink, 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 drink. I know you may want to drink, and it is really tempting to listen to them, because you know that drinking is healthy. Drinking water, drinking any type of healthy beverage is good for you. But if you are on some type of restriction, stick with the restrictions that your doctor has prescribed for you. But otherwise, if you're generally okay to drink what you would like, to drink what you want, remember, what are the first few signs of dehydration that you probably never thought? You just thought, oh, I'm thirsty. Dry lips, okay? Dry lips. Thirst. Thirst is probably the very first sign that you're dehydrated. Your body is telling you, give me water. Give me something to drink. You're thirsty, big O. Give me something to drink. Replenish, okay? You might have your Stanley Cup. Your Stanley Cup will even tell you, once it gets about halfway full. Some people say half full, some say half empty. Once it's half empty, right? It can stand to have about half of what you had in there to begin with. That cup is thirsty. You need to fill it. We can talk about those R words right now. Refill. Get yourself a refill so that you can replenish and restore. All right? You want those electrolytes to stay in order, okay? Because once you get too thirsty and you start to really get into dehydration, those electrolytes get out of whack, right? Those electrolytes get out of whack. Now, somebody else gonna start talking about electrolytes. I got a kind of little stalker on here, y'all. So those electrolytes will get out of whack. That sodium, that chloride, that potassium, the magnesium, those things will get out of whack. So when you feel thirsty, make sure that you replenish. Thank you, Big O. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Make sure that you replenish, refill, restore, okay, so that you can become rejuvenated, okay? You can rebound. You can rebound. Because when you're thirsty, especially when you get excessively thirsty, you don't feel good. A lot of people will notice their heads may hurt. They just may feel a little blah. Did you have your water for today? Okay, some people base the amount of water that they drink on their size. You can do it that way. And some people just aim for 6 to 8 ounce cups or glasses per day. Right? Thank you for all you share and do. Thank you, Big O. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming over here and supporting me. Believe it when I say I appreciate you. Sometimes I have about 10 in the chat. Sometimes I have about 3. Sometimes I have nobody. Sometimes it's just me and one other person. And then it's like right when I get ready to get off, people will come in. Because people don't like to hear stuff like about working out and stuff. They just want to, they like some messy stuff, right? So we try to stay out of the mess. Every now and again we'll get, let me tell you, my chat has been the fullest when I get in some mess. But I try not to get in mess because I don't mess with people unless they mess with me. I don't mess with people unless they mess with me. So I try to stay out of the mess. Hey, Angie. Welcome in, Angie. How are you? Happy, thoughtful, thirsty Thursday. We're just talking about thirst, And we started talking about thirst, meaning like sometimes that may sound like a negative word when you're just talking about online or, slang. When you're using it in a slang, as a slang term that's slangful, in a slangful way, as a term of slang, it sounds kind of negative. But thirsty isn't negative, okay? You can make a word positive. Thirsty is an adjective. It's an adjective that's a positive adjective. It's an informative adjective. When you feel thirsty, you need to replenish. You need to restore. You need to refill. Hey, Miss Key. Hey, Miss Key. Miss Key said, hey, Big O. Hey, Angie. Thank you guys for coming in. We're just talking on this thoughtful, thirsty Thursday. Sometimes I'll say thoughtful Thursday. Sometimes I say thirsty Thursday. So today we're going to talk about a thoughtful, thirsty Thursday, okay? Just think. It's just like the R word. I'm going to tell y'all another word that was a medical term. Y'all know what it is. It's R-E. Y'all probably know the rest of it. It addresses a person's mental state, right? That word wasn't always negative. Society took that word and made it negative. I know y'all have been in school and somebody say, oh, he's so re, or she's so re. And you know how everyday people are when they learn or they hear a certain word that's a medical term, sometimes they just go and they run with it and they make it negative. So they made that word so negative that they had to stop using it, right? They had to stop using it. So sometimes words don't start out negative. People make them negative. Thirsty is not a negative word. Thirsty is a regular word that means you need to replenish, right? It can be negative if you use it as slang, but if you use it to the true term, as the Webster's Dictionary wants us to use it, it means you need to restore, refill, replenish. All right? We talk about our words over here every day, right? Restore, refill, replenish, rejuvenate, relax. But when it comes to thirsty, there's a lot of R words. Restore, refill, replenish. Okay? So that you can recoup and regroup, right? All right? You need to reevaluate some things sometimes when you're thirsty. How much water are you getting? Or if you feel like you're drinking enough fluids, are they healthy fluids, right? All fluids aren't healthy. You shouldn't be drinking so much fruit juice, right? I know when we were young, growing up, we thought it was healthier to drink juice instead of soda pop, right? Listen, they're both not healthy. The only difference is that the soda pop is carbonated. The juice a lot of times has just as much sugar as the soft drink, right? So you start to learn those things. The more you start to get educated, the more you go to school, the more you just do research, the more people put the research out. You know, like back in the day, they would give the babies the bottles, right? Let them sleep with the bottles with juice in it. And what would happen? Their teeth would be messed up as they grew in. Too much sugar. Too much sugar. So it's okay to be thirsty, right? Just drink the right things. And you know we drink some of the stuff we're not supposed to drink. But make sure that 85% of what you drink is water or something else that's healthy, okay? Water is the best option for real. It is, Angie, it really is. Big O says, I want to be rejuvenated. Okay. Big O something else. But we do want to be rejuvenated. We want to be rejuvenated, okay? Restore, refresh, replenish, rejuvenate, okay? Restart, refocus, replenish, reset, reevaluate some things. Reevaluate some of the things that you're doing. How can you improve some of the things that you're doing? Even if they're good things, how can you work to make them better? Okay? And like Angie said, water is the best option. It really is the best option. And I know every now and again we might go to a wedding, we want to celebrate, we might get a little spirit drink, you know. But if you can, make that an occasional thing, okay? Make that an occasional thing. And guess what? If you make it an occasional thing, you'll tend to enjoy it more, right? You'll tend to enjoy it more. But if you make water that source that we all need, that we gotta have, water is in everything anyway. Even in the juices, the stuff that we don't, it all starts off with water. But when you start to add all those other additives and ingredients and stuff, you know, we mess it up, right? We mix it up. No box wine. No box wine. Exactly. We are what we consume, Angie. Exactly. 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 And listen, let me tell y'all something. I say that the things that I say, they aren't just to be putting it out there in the atmosphere for other people. It's for me too, okay? Now, I don't tinker with the spirits unless it's like a wedding, or I'll say maybe 3 to 4 times a year, if that. Some years, none at all. Because I really like water. I really like water. I really like water. And I used to really like tea. And I still like tea. But I have grown to love the herbal teas, the teas that don't require sugar a lot of times, but they're, you know, they're flavored or whatever. But I try to stick with the healthier brands. So I know you might just get tired of just drinking water, but try to make water at least 85% of what you drink. Okay? And even if you have something to drink every day, some type of drink that's not water, you can always do good by limiting what you drink. If you want a soft drink, if you're just a Pepsi addict, if you're just a Coke addict, Coca-Cola, YouTube, Coca-Cola. If you're just an addict for a soft drink, make it a clear one. Make it Sprite. Make it 7-Up. You know, make it the cranberry drinks. You know those cranberry drinks that are about to come out now for the holidays, guys? Make it that. And even then, due to the carbonation and due to the sugar, because the only thing that those lack is the caffeine, right? So when you're drinking these sodas, you're getting carbonation, that acid, that carbonated acid, right? You're getting caffeine, depending on the drink you drink, and you're getting a lot of sugar. So what you can do, you don't have to cut it out. Instead of drinking the full 20-ounce drink, or instead of going to your 2-liter 3 or 4 times a day, get about 4 ounces with your meal, or if you just want to have that to drink. Because you guys know a lot of times most people tend to drink like a full cup, right? Good question, Key. What did Miss Key say? Let's see, no box wines. Do you like coconut? Yes, I like coconut water. I do. I like coconut water, but I've got to do some research on coconut water because I've started to hear some stuff about coconut water, right? So I've got to do a little bit more research about it because, you know, initially everybody was just out there like, drink coconut water, right? Because coconut does have a lot of nutrients. I like coconut. I couldn't stand coconut for a long time growing up, and I'm not crazy about it now, but I do like it. I like to get the liquid out of the juice out of the coconut. So I know if you drink it straight from the coconut, it's definitely healthy. So I don't think it's so much that there's something going on with coconut water. I think you have to be careful about, just like with anything else, who your source is, like which coconut waters that you drink. Which coconut waters you drink. So I do like coconut water, and I think that's a good option. But again, be careful about the brands that you drink. And so that's with anything. That's just like a lot of the water that's in the stores that's supposed to be spring water, regular water. They found out years ago that it's just tap water, you know? So if it's just tap water, you can drink the tap water in your neighborhood, in your community, right? If it's just tap water. So some people love the alkaline water, okay? Because our bodies are supposed to be more alkaline, okay? Okay? Not acidic. You want more alkaline. Your blood pH is alkaline, okay? Different parts of your body have a different pH, right? But your blood is more alkaline. So if drinking alkaline water is a good thing, but as with everything, even with the healthy things, you want to be careful about how much you drink, okay? That's why you need to cut out those sodas, because of the acid, the carbonic acids, the carbonation, okay? So you don't have to eliminate them totally, but just be more mindful of how much you drink in a day, in a week. Some people have, who used to drink sodas daily, they've cut them down to maybe 2 or 3 a week. And that's an improvement, so that's a good thing. Because believe it or not, some people drink sodas all day. Every time they eat, they've got to have one. I had a professor when I was in college. Every day at the end of the day is when we had her class. She would always have a Dr. Pepper. But the good thing about her Dr. Pepper, even though I don't know how, by the time she got to the end of the day, it was flat. But she just laughed because she loved Dr. Pepper. But that was the one drink she had from the beginning of the day, that 20-ounce bottle, until the end of the day. So at least that was a start, right? Because she could have easily have had one during breakfast, during lunch, and maybe another one in the evening once she got home. And who knows, maybe she did have one in the evening, but she told us that was the one she drank all day, right? So to think of it daily, that sounds like a lot to me, because I don't drink sodas daily anymore, and I didn't even do it then. But it's a better option than just having 3 bottles a day, 2 or 3 bottles a day. She started out that morning with breakfast with that 1 bottle, and by the time we got to her class at 2, and we didn't get out until 4, That was that one bottle. So you got to do it the way you do it. Look at Big O, y'all. He says, I drink core water. Yeah, a lot of people like core water. Alkaline water cleanses the liver. Yes, alkaline water does a lot. It does a lot. It helps a lot. Or try some of Georgia Girl fruit drinks. They are good for us. Yes. If you, let me go back up and make sure I didn't miss anything that Miss Key said. I don't even drink tea or coffee or milk, none. Yeah, if you can get away from the milk altogether. Some people have chosen no milk at all. Some people got away from cow's milk and they drink lactose free, or they drink the A2, which has a certain protein in it that's supposed to be easier on your digestive system, or they drink oat milk, almond milk, coconut milk. Some people have just completely gotten away from milk altogether, and other people use those alternatives, right? Let's see. Angie says, yes, Miss Key, I do. Okay, Angie, you drink coconut water. Okay. Let's see. I think I got everybody. I got everything. Thank you guys for coming in here, hanging out with me. Thank you, Angie. I hadn't seen you or Big O in a while. I'm glad to have y'all in here today. Thank you for coming in. That's a good conversation. I was about to get off, and y'all just stirred up a good conversation. I think it all came from us talking about thirst. Thirsty Thursday, right? When you're thirsty, that's one of the first signs of dehydration. Actually, it might be the first sign of dehydration. Because when your body is hydrated, you're not thirsty. If your body says, hey, give me water, that is the first sign of dehydration. Doesn't mean that you're dehydrated and you gotta go and get you know what I'm saying? You gotta go and get fluids. But I'm just saying, it's just the first sign, right? And if you don't give your body the water that it needs when it starts to say, hey, I'm thirsty, you'll probably start to experience dry lips, right? And then if you still don't give yourself the water that you need, the back of your hand, if you can pinch it, it's called tenting. If you can pinch the back of your hand and it stays up longer than about 3 seconds, you need to get something in you. But again, if you have fluid restrictions, you need to talk with your doctor about that, okay? Some things that are normal, that are not normal for the average person, if a person has a certain condition, the doctor is aware of that and it's normal for them, right? It just depends on what a person has going on. So again, if you can pinch that skin on the back of your hand, and you use the back of the hand because that's where your skin is most thin, right? So if you pinch that back of your hand up and it stays up, you're probably a little bit dehydrated, right? If it goes down within 3 seconds, you're probably good, okay? You cook with almond milk? That sounds good, Angie. That sounds good. And Big O says he drinks almond milk. So at least you're getting some good milk in, Big O. You over there with them Dr. Peppers. You over there drinking that Dr. Pepper. At least you're getting some good almond milk. And with almond milk, you can make your own almond milk. You can make your own oat milk, right? But if you don't choose to do that, there are a lot of good brands that you can purchase. So on this thoughtful, we're having all kinds of good thoughts, right? On this thoughtful, thirsty Thursday, right? Thirsty is not a bad word. It's an informative word. It's an adjective that makes you know that you need to move. You need to get in line, right? You need to get things in order, right? You never heard of that? Making your own milk, your own almond milk. Mac and cheese with almond milk is good. That sounds good. Honestly, that sounds good. I would have never thought of that, but that does sound good. I drink oat milk. Not a lot, but I drink it. And I drink almond milk. Soy milk. You have to be watchful with the soy, But I drink those. And I drink, I'll drink regular milk, but I tend to drink skim milk, fat-free milk. Fat-free milk and the fat-free milk and the A2 milk. So I try to stay away from just regular milk. And I don't drink it a lot. So it's easy for me to use those alternatives because I don't drink it a lot. What I mean, not Facebook, what YouTube holding back? Lord, the tarot folks, get up out of here. Get up out of here. Get up out of here. Let's see. Pinching the back of your hand. Oh, yes. Yes. If you pinch the back of your hand between your like take the back of your hand, this one, take your forefinger and your thumb of your other finger, of your other hand, and it's pinch that skin on the back for about 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Let it go. If it goes down slowly, you probably need to drink something. If it goes down under 3 seconds, you're probably good. Okay, you know, each person is different. But generally speaking, if it goes down slowly, doesn't mean some big health thing, but you might be a little bit thirsty if you pinch the back, or if you're not thirsty and you know you don't really drink the way you should. When those lips get dry, like I said, thirst is the first sign for most people, for many people. Some people say their first sign is dry lips. And some people, you know, if you work more in the health related fields, you can pinch the back of that hand, and if it stays up. Now, especially if you're older, you know, as we get older, our skin doesn't bounce back like it used to. So if you're under 60 years old, I'll say, and it takes more than 3 seconds for it to flatten back out, you might, need to think about how much did you drink today, right? And if it goes down within 3 seconds, still doesn't mean you don't need to drink anything, but that's just one of the tests. 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 So thirst, dry lips, skin that doesn't bounce back in under 3 seconds. If you're, I'll say 60, 65 and under, you might need to get a little water. And if you are having a hard time letting those soft drinks go, like my instructor, instead of drinking one with each meal, get you one and just drink it throughout the day. Drink it throughout the day. That's a lot, you're getting it every day, but that's a lot better than having 2 or 3 a day, okay? That's a lot better than having 2 or 3 a day, right? And some people, that's just how they do. You know, you have to figure out ways to decrease some of the things that you want to get rid of, okay? If you can't completely get rid of them cold turkey, just figure out ways to kind of cut back. So if you drink, some people don't drink soda every day. Some people drink soda 3 or 4 times a week, and they would like to improve on that. So if you drink it 3 or 4 times a week, start with thinking, I get a 20 ounce. It might be something that goes along with the way you work, you know? So I work Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and I seem to always get a 20 ounce when I work. Or at least, 2 of those 3 days. Or if it's during the week mostly, you find that you really don't do it a lot on the weekend. Maybe you're doing it during the week to kind of keep you going, right? Well, make sure that when you do, you're not drinking the whole bottle. Instead of getting 20 ounces, drink 4. A lot of times you just need enough, especially when you're eating, you just need enough to kind of rinse your food down, right? Wash it down, rinse it down, right? That's all you really need. And the less you drink, the more you eat of your food, especially if it's healthy food. Now, that being said, on the flip side of that, if you want to cut back on what you're eating, drink more, but drink more water, more lemon water, maybe a little lemonade, homemade lemonade, so you dictate the sugar content, right? Tea, homemade tea, so you dictate the sugar content. Even the Kool-Aid, even the Kool-Aid in the canisters, you can look on the back. If you look on the back of those Kool-Aid canisters, a lot of them don't have that much sugar. And even if you feel like, I think it's like maybe 15 grams or something like that. But even if you feel like, because I think for a male, maybe 30 grams a day is sufficient or enough, not really sufficient because you can have way less. For females, 25, something like that per day. So that Kool-Aid canister for a serving might be like 15 grams. Well, you can cut that in half and make you a half a cup of Kool-Aid, right? I had 1 meal per day just now. See? See, a lot of people fast most of the day. They only eat one meal a day. And they say they feel so much better. Like if they weren't fasting before, or if they didn't have that eating habit, because for you, that's your eating habit now, right, Angie? So you probably don't even consider it a fast. Some people, they go on a fast where they go from eating 2 or 3 times a day to just 1 time a day, and that's it. And then sometimes it becomes just a routine. So that's probably your routine. That's good. That's good. I was told 80 grams a day ago. Woo, 80 grams of sugar? No, carbs. When I say 80 grams, I'm talking about sugar. It's like 5 grams in a teaspoon, right? So look it up when you get off of here. Look it up again when you get off of here, Big O. I think for the average male, about 30 grams is where they want you to be. And for the average female, I think 25. It may be 20 for female and 25 for male, but no, I don't think that's it. I think it was that years ago, maybe. I think it's 25 for female and 30 for males. You're working on getting your A1s. Okay, see, if you have a goal, they may be basing that on what you probably discussed with them as far as how you eat anyway and how much you eat anyway. But if I'm not mistaken, like 30 grams, which is probably like 6 teaspoons, I think, and 25 for women. It's about 5 teaspoons. It may be tablespoons, but I know it's like the grams, 25 and 30. A day by your doctor. And he's working with you on getting your A1C down. So I don't know how much you were getting initially, or how much he was aware of that you were getting initially, but I would look and make sure, because like I tell y'all, things change. But I don't think it was 80 per day. But if you were already getting way over that, that's probably a goal that he set for you. My BMI went from 36 to 27 in 2 months. See, Angie, I'm telling you, I'm at 6, something trying to get, okay, you're trying to get to a 5.7. Yeah, you'll be 5.7. 6 isn't bad. 6 isn't bad. Because a lot of the numbers kind of change as you get older, right? So as long as you stay within that realm of what's considered normal for your age and your gender, you're good. So if you're at a 6 and you're trying to get to 5.7, you got it. All right, you got it. You'll get it. You're going to get it. Look at Angie. BMI dropped from 36 to 27. See? She doesn't do soft drinks. I'm telling you, listen, whether your goal is weight loss or just to feel better or to get that A1C down, that HA1C, okay, whether you're trying to get that down, if you just stop sodas, and I'm talking about even if you like ice cream, you like cakes, of course you need to cut back on that. But if you just pick one and you just stop it altogether, if you can go cold turkey, you will notice a difference. You will notice a difference. You'll notice a difference in how you feel, and you'll start to notice a difference in some of your numbers. Robert says, amen. Big O says, I'm 46. Okay. So yeah, they probably want you to get kind of like close to 5.7. But if you're at a 6, and when they do your blood work, what is your glucose? Is it usually under 100? If it's under 100, then you're doing your own track. You're on track, because usually diabetics don't even get an injection unless their blood sugar is like 120 and up. 120 and up. Now, that depends on the person. And it depends on if they're brittle diabetic. Brittle meaning they go up and down, up and down, up and down. One, they may be high, they may be low. They may be low, they may be high. They may be normal, okay? So that's why I always tell you guys don't listen to anything that we say on this platform or any social media platform. You can listen, but you always do your research, and you always listen to who first? Your doctor, your primary healthcare provider. Because you and he or you and she know your situation. You know your age, you know your gender, you know your health history, right? You know where you were last month or 3 months ago when you went and what numbers you're trying to get down. You know what your numbers were 6 months ago. So when you listen to people online, me included, and other people who talk about health and fitness, it's good that when you're open like Big O and Angie, they're sharing their journey. It's nice to be open because even if nobody else in the chat or whoever catches this replay can identify with what they're talking about, if you listen for a few minutes, you may know somebody who can identify with it. So we drop nuggets over here. Remember, we drop nuggets. We drop nuggets. That's what we do. We drop nuggets. And we want you guys to pick those nuggets up, take them, research them, take them to your doctor, take them to your nurse practitioner, take them to your physician's assistant, and study them together and let them come up and formulate a treatment plan for you, right? Look at Big O saying that Dr. Pepper is calling him. Listen, Big O, listen. Listen, avoid it, okay? Avoid it. And if you can't avoid it, if you cannot avoid it, don't drink the whole can. Don't drink the whole bottle, okay? Let me tell y'all something about things that we kind of feel like we just can't have to have sometimes when it comes to food, okay? And I learned this a long time ago. Say you like chocolate chip cookies, right? Say you really, really love chocolate chip cookies. You say Chips Ahoy, that's your thing. Keebler, that's your thing. Or just a good old homemade chocolate chip cookie. Or your local deli, whoever sells the best chocolate chip cookies that you ever had. Your mom's chocolate chip cookies. When we're kids, a lot of times, now some parents are strict. You can only have 2, that's it. No more until the end of the day or something like that. Or not even the end of the day, maybe kind of like, if you get out of school, they may let you get a couple. But if it's the weekend, they may let you get it like once in the afternoon and once mid-evening, because they don't want you to be wide awake when it's time to go to bed, right? So a lot of times they're a little bit less lenient. And you got some parents who aren't bad parents. I'm not saying that. But they really don't monitor what their kids eat as far as like how many cookies they ate. They just come through the house, who ate up all these cookies, right? Who ate up all these cookies? Well, if it's 2 or 3 of y'all, they ain't trying to see who ate 10 or who ate 20, unless y'all fussing about it. She ate all of them, mama. I didn't give her 2, And then y'all wonder why they start to ration the food out. See, ain't nothing wrong with rationing food out to your kids. Some people act like that's just the worst thing in the world. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because this stuff starts as kids, right? And a lot of times it starts with kids just eating whatever they want to eat, not being monitored. Doesn't mean that they're necessarily bad parents unless they're just letting you do it all the time. And they're just going to McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? But I've always been taught, and I have done it, and it works. It's the craving. It's a mind thing, right? It's a mind thing. You're eating those chocolate chip cookies. Why? Because they taste good. So if it tastes good, that dopamine gets you to, you know what I'm saying? You just want to be pleased more and more and more. And you eat till you just get full, or you eat till you get tired of eating. And some people, they're good at monitoring what they eat. Even kids. Some kids, they don't like a lot of sweets, thank goodness. But sometimes there's this one thing you really like, and you just eat it. You might eat the back of the pack. If the back of the pack says 2 or 3, and you've eaten about 8, well, you've eaten how many servings? About 2 or 3, right? But what I've learned a long time ago, that if you get that chocolate chip cookie and you just hold it and savor it, right? Then put it in your mouth, savor the chocolate, savor the cookie, savor the taste, then bite. Eat a little bit slower, because what it is that it's a mind game. You love the what? The taste of it. So hold it in your mouth. Savor the taste. Then chew. Hold it. Don't just bite it and chew it and swallow. Bite it, chew it and swallow. Bite it, chew it and swallow. Yeah, you're tasting it, but you're not taking the time to savor it. So if you hold that cookie in your mouth, I don't mean just let it get mushy, and all that, but just hold it, bite it, savor it, chew, then swallow. And focus on that. Before you know it, you'll get to a point where 2 cookies is enough. Or whatever, the 3 cookies, if it's a serving of 3, or 1 serving is 3, that's enough. You might not even want the whole 3. You might not even want the whole 2 if 2 is a serving. Because you've taken the time to work on your mental. It's a mental thing. And you've savored that cookie. The taste. Your taste buds have had a chance to savor. Okay? and then you eat it. Now, again, it might not stop you from eating 8 cookies instantly, but I bet you it'll stop you from eating 8 quicker than you think it will. Next thing you know, you might be eating 4. Say you buy Chips Ahoy every week. You'll see that they start to last a little bit longer. Because now where you eat 4, you were eating maybe 6 or 8, you're eating maybe 3 or 4. And then you give it a break. You know? So savor it. Train your taste buds. Sometimes you have to train your taste buds. Train your taste buds to match what your mind wants you to do. Okay? So savor it. It's all about the taste. But when you think about it, if you're just eating it at a regular rate, yeah, you taste it. It tastes good. But you don't quite get satisfied, right? Until you've eaten 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So savor it in your mouth. Okay? Kind of like quenching the thirst when you're thirsty. Like, don't chug the water down. Take your time. All right? Take your time. Get it down. All right? And if you don't like water, add a little kiwi or something. Add some fruit. Let it sit and infuse. Okay? Some lemon, something. Some type of healthy fruit. Right? Cucumber. Right? And if you just got it, dab a little bit of honey in it. Or maybe a little bit of sugar. About a teaspoon of sugar. Maybe even a tablespoon. That's 3 teaspoons. That's enough. That's it. All right? Okay? And then eventually you'll get to half a tablespoon. Right? Then you'll get to a teaspoon. So just hold it in your mouth. Let your taste buds savor the taste. It's a mind thing. You guys ever heard of the mind-gut connection? The mind-gut connection? We ain't gonna get deep, but I'm gonna tell y'all, look up the mind-gut connection. All right? Sometimes that stomach is just a rumbling. It's not really even hungry. You know, it's just making those weird sounds. Now, those are the sounds of your bowels a lot of times. Your bowels make sounds, okay? But when you hear that, you hear some of those sounds, or you find that you may be going to the bathroom a little bit more or a little bit less, you know, you're constipated. How much water have you drank? So there's a mind and gut connection, okay? The stomach is your body's mind, as well as your brain, right? Your stomach is your mind as well. There is this thing called the mind-gut connection, okay? And if you find that certain things aren't tolerated well with your stomach, sometimes you have to reset. You have to do a reset. You have to start to eliminate certain foods, certain spices, certain seasonings, okay? You hear a lot of people, the first thing they want to do is grab something that has an MSG in it. MSG doesn't bother a lot of people, but a lot of people it does. People say, oh, my stomach feels like this and my stomach feels like that. But you're flavoring and seasoning your food with MSGs. Not just regular sea salt or salt and pepper or a little bit of garlic, a little bit of onions. Even garlic can have a negative effect on some people. If that mind and gut connection is out of whack, okay? If the bacteria in your gut, if it's out of whack, you experience more gas. You experience maybe going to the restroom a little bit more. So start to eliminate some things and see what's working. When you start to do the elimination process, see what's working. And then you can slowly add those things back. Some things you may be like, I can't tolerate that anymore. Some things it may that you can tolerate it, but you have to decrease the amount that you're using, right? All these seasonings, especially when you go to these restaurants and stuff, they have MSG. And you maybe can eat that stuff in your 20s and 30s like it's nothing. And some people in their 20s and 30s don't tolerate it. Garlic is very healthy. But if your bacteria is out of whack in your stomach, garlic will do a number on you, okay? Onions will do a number on you. All right? Yes, first brain. Angie says, what you eat contributed to our way of thought. Exactly. Pink grapefruit with some sugar or honey is good. It's bitter on its own. Right. What Big O says, vanilla almond milk and chocolate chip cookies are yummy. See? See, Big O? See, we got you. We got to get you right on that Dr. Pepper. But listen, you right on that almond milk, right? You doing good with that almond milk. See? So there's the brain and gut connection. Look it up. See, we just dropped nuggets over here. Now you got to pick up the nuggets and you got to go and research them. All right? You research them. All right? Even if you've had no fitness training, no health training, right? No medical training. You can read, right? So read about the brain-gut connection. See, a lot of times people talk about what they can't eat, especially like it's so funny when I see people on some of these food channels dousing the food with garlic, dousing the food with onions. And then later on they talk about how their stomach feels like this or their stomach feels like that. Onions are good for you. Garlic is good for you. But if you've been eating a certain way for years, those things can turn on you. They can turn on you, right? If your stomach has been tolerating certain things for years, they can turn on you, okay? So all those different seasonings, slap your mama, Sazon, and all that stuff, listen, cut back. Cut back and your food will still taste good. Cut back and your food will still taste good. I'm telling you, sometimes all I need is just some cracked pepper and some salt. Get that natural taste of that pepper, get some cracked pepper, some sea salt, Himalayan sea salt, some Italian seasoning. Italian seasonings are wonderful. Go more towards the Mediterranean type diet, okay? Use those seasonings that they use. All right? Our atoms and molecules pass messages through the body to the brain. Exactly. Exactly, Angie. Exactly. Exactly. That's so true. That's so true. The brain and your gut have a major connection, okay? A major connection. And that's why I say some of the things that you eat that may not be quite so healthy and you can't stop cold turkey, start to savor it more in smaller amounts, okay? You don't have to quit it unless your doctor tells you to. But I'm saying if you want to cut back on your own, just savor the taste. And you will find that you don't need to eat 4 cookies. You're good with 2, all right? You don't need to eat a whole bowl of ice cream. You're good with half a bowl. Turmeric is good. It's good. It's good unless you have some type of allergy to it or something like that, or you've been told not to eat it. It generally, typically is good. So that's one of those. Turmeric is another one of those things that people are learning more and more about. So generally speaking, it's good. And a lot of times when you do have those like gut issues, that's a good seasoning that you can use. That's pretty, it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy on you. It's pretty easy on you. And even if you don't have issues, just think about it. You just want to do better, right? You just want to do better. Thank you guys for those thumbs up. I appreciate you. Thank you guys for the conversation. See, this is the kind of conversations I like to have. I don't like it when people start messing with you and then you got to go into the negative conversations. I like to have the good conversations, the positive conversations, because both of you guys have been dropping nuggets, okay? You've been dropping nuggets. You've been asking good questions. And like I say, I go into a little bit of detail, but I don't go into a lot of detail because you have to be careful about the information that you disseminate, okay? The information that you put out. All right? You never know, somebody with an eating disorder may come across your replay and you're telling them to do this and to do that. You also need to always be able to tell them to consult their healthcare team, but also tell them some of the, sides to it that may not be so good, okay? Look at Angie. Angie, I be trying to be good. I be trying to be good. Y'all know I tell y'all, I don't mind admitting my flaw. It's a lack of patience. Okay? I've been saying that for about 3 years because that's what it's always been for me. A lack of patience. I gotta work on it. I've gotten better, but I have to acknowledge that I have to work on it, right? You have to be able to acknowledge your flaws. To me, that's a flaw. Like, everybody can't be the most patient people in the world, but I feel like if you have, the more patience you have, the better you are, the better you respond as an individual. Y'all hear that rain? It feels so good. It's raining. Big O says everybody's body is different. I understand. Yeah, right, Big O. And a lot of times, a lot of times people be going through stuff and they just be trying to hear, hello, they just be trying to hear something to work, right? So I understand. They're trying to hear something that works. And a lot of times what people are talking about is good information. It's good food, it's good resources, it's good sources or whatever, it's good. But it depends on if they're hypertensive, if they're diabetic, if they have certain issues, right? They may be able to do those things, but they may have to cut back a little bit, right? Or some things they may not be able to do. It's just living. Like my grandparents always said, keep on living. Just keep on living. Look at Angie. Angie said my flaw is talking. That can be a good thing too, Angie. That can be a good thing too. That can be a good thing too. So like my great-grandparents said, my parents said, just keep on living. A lot of times you hear these youngsters calling people old. Well, you want to live to get old, don't you? You got to keep on living. You got to keep on living. And just hope that you live with no issues. And whenever something comes, if God brings you to it, pray that He brings you through it, right? And be willing to do the things that you need to do to change some of the habits that you have that aren't so good. And I tell y'all all the time, I have a lack of patience. I've always been short patience. But believe it or not, being on here has kind of helped with that a little bit. It's kind of helped with that a little bit. It really has. It's kind of helped with that a little bit. A little bit. A little bit. So I'm going to tell y'all, we already went over those R words, right? So y'all already know what time it is. It's time to get out of here. All right? It's been an hour. We started talking about thirsty and we got into health stuff. Y'all, we had a good live, okay? We had a good live. All right? We had a good live. Y'all know I'm mostly a shorts channel, right? I have to do some lives to try to keep the monetization, right? But I'm mostly a shorts channel, okay? So check out the shorts table. We do some light exercises over there. That's mostly what we do, okay? And we come on here every day, almost every day, not quite every day. Because sometimes we get busy. Sometimes things come up and we gotta be out a little bit later and we can't get on. Or we just want to take a break and we just want to be on and just walk by ourselves or whatever, right? Right? So we did the R words. We're going to talk about SELF, self-love, right? Some days you don't want to come online every time you walk, every time you do whatever it is, whatever your challenge is about. Sometimes you just want to do it for you, right? Self-love, self-fulfillment, self-education. Educate yourself. Pick up these nuggets from here and wherever else you go today and get some self-education, knowledge, read, do your research. Make sure you use reputable sources, right? Motivate yourself, self-motivation. I always say motivate your damn self, okay? All right? Don't look to other people to motivate you. If you find motivation from someone, through someone, good. But my goals are to motivate young people, children and young people in any way that I can. And if an adult finds motivation from me, good. But that's not my goal. My goal is to motivate children and young people. Now, I know encouragement and motivation is kind of synonymous, but I feel like when you motivate people, you kind of almost got to pull them up. I love working with people who have decided to pull themselves up, even if it's just halfway. And then I'm going to come along and I'm going to encourage you, get on up. Get on up, Big O. Get on up. You can do it. Leave those Dr. Peppers alone. Stick with that almond milk. If you can't leave the Dr. Peppers alone, drink half of one. Whatever you are used to drinking, drink half. I'm encouraging Angie to continue to use that almond milk, to continue to think about how our body and our mind works, how our taste buds match up. I just want to encourage you to continue to do the things that you have set your mind to do. Because a lot of times you can motivate somebody from here to Timbuktu. They're not going to do it until they've set their minds to do it. Okay? They're not going to do it until they've set their minds to do it. So don't let bother people bother you. And I say that to you and I say it to me. Don't let stress people stress you out. And if you find yourself in a misery lounge, I'm talking about in somebody else's home, even in your own home. A lot of us live with spouses, kids, nieces and nephews, whoever. Just go to another room. I know it's your house, you pay the mortgage, but go to another room sometimes. Keep your blood pressure down, okay? Cortisol, keep those cortisol levels in a normal place. People talk badly about cortisols, but our body needs cortisols a little bit. It naturally creates it a little bit. We don't want those levels to get elevated though, right? We don't want those levels to get elevated, right? We want those endorphins. We want those feel-good hormones to get stimulated, right? We want to increase those. So if you find yourself in a misery lounge, again, that can be Walmart, that could be at school, it could be at work. Just grab your little stuff and go. Grab your grip and go. That's what I say all the time. GYGAG. Grab your grip and go. If they're in your personal space, tell them to grab their grip and go. GTGAG. Grab their grip and go. You ain't gotta stop dealing with them. And they ain't gotta go home, but they gotta leave you alone for a little while, okay? All right? So try your best to protect your peace, right? I always say that peace is the requirement. A lot of times they say peace is the reward. Well, if you make peace the requirement, it will become the reward, right? If you make peace the requirement, it will be the reward. You want to keep your peace as much as you possibly can. Things aren't going to always be perfect, but keep your peace as much as you can. Big O says good night. Angie says good night, Big O. Angie says no such thing as can't, just won't. Come on, Angie. Angie says, thank you. It was fun. Thank you, Angie. Thank you, Big O. She said, I do pray on it all the time. I ask God to shut me up. What you talking about, that talking? Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. On that note, I wish you guys peace, positivity, and prosperity. Because without peace, there is chaos. Without positivity, there's negativity. Wherever chaos and negativity roam together, live together, play together, dance together, mingle together, you won't prosper to your fullest potential if you allow that to bother you, okay? You won't. I want to prosper. I want you guys to prosper. We want our families to prosper, our friends to prosper. We want people we don't even know to prosper, whether we deal with them or not. Just prosper over there somewhere, okay? So I'll see you guys on the next Let's Walk and Talk and Live Friday. Hopefully that will be tomorrow. If it's the Lord's will, it'll be tomorrow, y'all. If not, I'll see you guys, tomorrow's Friday? Wow. So, if not tomorrow, I'll see you guys Friday, but hopefully it'll be tomorrow. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your night, okay? Thank you for joining me on this thoughtful and thirsty Thursday. Bye, y'all. Bye, Angie. Bye, Big O. Bye, Miss Key. I think the retirement days, no, Robert came through and said, hey and amen. We had a troll. Thank you for the view, troll. Bye, y'all.